In theory, pitching an all-you-can-eat Samgyupsal place to your meal companions doesn't seem like the most exciting prospect because you know exactly what to expect. Self-grilled meat with a bunch of Korean-style sides. But of course, there are nuances to assessing a Korean barbecue place as with any other restaurant, and Myeong Ryun Jinsa Galbi certainly has its own endearing features. The interiors for one are light and bright, giving a clean, maliwalas look and a somewhat premium feel, and there's K-pop playing in the background. The restaurant is basically divided into two sections. The first part that we just passed by now, visible from the shop window, faces the inside of the mall, and then there's the buffet area, which looks like an open floor plan kitchen with its island table in the middle. Across from the buffet are a couple of seats as well, and then there's the second half in the back that also has the bigger seating area, with windows offering a street view. We were able to avail of the new opening promo price of 678 pesos, and senior citizens can still avail of their discount. Now, for the buffet tour, one of the main things that attracted us to Myeong Ryun Jinsa Galbi is the availability of cooked and ready-to-eat dishes. They've got your crowd pleasers of fried pika-pika like onion rings and dumplings, a mixed noodle platter of mac and cheese, Korean fried chicken, rice cakes, fried rice, japchae, and the like. I don't know about you guys, but our group tends to prefer that we start dining with the first round consisting of ready-to-eat food as our appetizer of sorts. It was just kind of an unspoken thing for us, and then we start grilling meat for round 2 onwards. So I want to ask, how do you enjoy your Samgyupsal buffet when there are cooked dishes also available? Do you start with ready-to-eat dishes like we do? Do you prefer to grill first and then eat everything together? Or are you the type to focus mainly on the grilled meats and just get the ready-to-eat stuff as an afterthought? Let's discuss that on the comment section because I'd love to know. Of course, there's a section devoted to the side dishes, which include pickled vegetables and kimchi. In the back is where you will find the lettuce and the condiments for the samgyupsal. There's also a DIY bibimbap station in the corner. I thought at first that it would be a paluto kind of situation, but it's ready to eat and they don't serve eggs with that, but you can grab hard-boiled eggs from the boiled egg K-soy sauce platter in front. So you just scoop rice into your bowl from this traditional looking container and top it with the vegetables and sauces of your choice. The grilled meat of your own rendering, of course, can be added. On to the star of the show, the meat slices. This is typically the make or break factor of any samgyupsal place, and Myeong Ryun has a formidable spread. The meats are fresh, they're cut in generous portion sizes, the fat distribution is just right, and the marinades are neither overwhelming nor overly salty, so you can still add sauces when you wrap the grilled pieces in lettuce or enjoy them with rice and they'll taste just right. Now let's approach the topic of dining experience, which will differ greatly depending on when you visit. So much so that it really ought to be discussed on a separate note. In this video, you'll see the restaurant at its peak performance, meaning the buffet is well stocked with raw ingredients, pickled sides, and cooked viands readily available. This was during a quiet weekday lunch service. Inversely, we also visited during a weekday dinner service, but this time there was some sort of event or show in Araneta Coliseum. The restaurant was packed and the service couldn't really keep up with a full house. Refills on all the dishes were slow, down to the lettuce and marinated meats, which you'd expect to come out quicker because of how they can be prepared in advance as opposed to the cooked food. The same can be said about the exhaust system. I was quite impressed at how our clothes didn't smell like barbecue during the visit when this footage was filmed, but when the restaurant was full, the exhaust system unfortunately simply couldn't keep up with the amount of smoke the tables were producing. So that's also something to consider when planning your visit for a smoother dining experience. Now back to the rest of the buffet tour. The right side of the meat fridge is devoted to liquids, soups, and beverages. Over here is the meat radish soup, and it's a wholesome tasting broth that has that concentrated pork meat flavor. Be sure to give it a good mix to get some sliced radish and pork bits. Next to that is the cream soup. This one has no noticeable chunks inside, and the taste is your basic cream of something soup base. Not too salty, just something simple. For the juice section, they've got iced tea, and from what I remember was mango and calamansi juice. These taste like your basic powdered mix type juices rather than concentrates. They don't offer desserts like sliced fruit or ice cream in the buffet, and I feel like this would have been a plus to have. If you're a Samgyupsal connoisseur and you're wondering what type of grill Myeong Ryun Jinsa Galbi Gateway 2 uses, it's the gas burner type with some pieces of volcanic rocks inside, while the grill itself isn't the mesh type with big holes in between, but rather the type that has vertical or horizontal grills depending on what angle you're looking at it from. Now, from personal cooking experience, I like this type of grill. The fat drippings are quickly discarded while meat isn't as exposed to the open flame as in the case of big mesh grills. And even if you're not super experienced with grilling meat, you'll be able to quickly figure out where to move the strips and pieces around relative to the hottest point of the grill, as it has the tendency to build up charred bits at the very center. You're seeing the spicy and soy chicken pieces right now. Spiciness level for the spicy chicken is at a medium. It's tolerable but with a kick. For the ready-to-eat food, this is what I got. Sweet and sour pork, K-fried chicken, potatoes, and the mac and cheese with kernels of corn. The mac and cheese has a vaguely creamy, cheesy flavor, and I felt it was a little bit bland, so I ended up adding some of the cheese sauce from the meat fridge that I warmed up on the grill, and that improved the taste for sure. I did notice that the cooked selection on display was no longer hot. Again, the experience varies depending on how full the restaurant is, and in this case, they didn't want to fire up the induction cookers underneath the ready-to-eat stuff in fear of the food drying up while waiting for other customers to show up. The fried chicken has a homemade fried chicken taste with a sweet garlicky glaze having just the right consistency to thinly coat the breading. Here's my take on the make-your-own bibimbap. I just scooped a little bit of everything that was on the serving bowls. It was a nice play on textures with the vegetables having that crisp bite to them in contrast with the rice, while the sliced zucchini was nice and soft. Their japchae has a lot of that sesame oil flavor, so it's certainly tasty, but I appreciate that it isn't too sweet, because some Korean restaurants here tend to be heavy-handed with the sugar. The tteokbokki is chewy, but I wouldn't consider it tough or makunat. The spiciness level, I feel, was probably reduced to cater to the Filipino palate. All in all, I would come back to Myeong Ryun Jinsa Galbi because the superior meat quality speaks for itself, and that's the main attraction anyway. But I would just be mindful of when I decide to return so as to avoid the crowds and have a better overall experience. Please subscribe for more content like this.